This demonstration is based on data extracted from an expense reporting system. You should take note of the expense type and expense USD columns as they will be used in the construction of our Pareto chart. Let's insert a new page, and on this page, we will insert a combination chart. We'll change the y-axis to be the sum of expenses in USD, and the x-axis will define these bars by expense type. Then we will return to the y-axis and add another value. We'll select expense USD and change the aggregation to a cumulative sum. If we show this value as a line, the visualization appears to be somewhat Pareto-ish. However, in a Pareto chart, a cumulative percentage is displayed. Therefore, we will return to the y-axis selector and expand the dialog in order to edit the expression for the cumulative sum such that it is divided by the total of all expenses. The easiest way to accomplish this would be to copy this portion of the expression, type a divide by symbol, and paste. Then adjust the node navigation function to all rather than all previous. Let's also change the display name to be cumulative percentage. When we close the selector dialog, you can just barely see the bars, which result from this new expression. However, because they are on a scale of 0 to 1, their magnitude cannot be appreciated relative to the expense amounts. Therefore, we will go to the Properties dialog and adjust the y-axis to use multiple scales, one for each color. While here in the dialog's property, we might also adjust the formatting such that the expense values are represented as a currency with 0 digits past the decimal and a thousandth separator, and the cumulative percentage values are displayed as a percentage with 0 digits past the decimal. We can also visit the series section of this dialog in order to represent the expense values as blue bars and the cumulative percentage as a red line. We could also adjust the appearance to show line markers. If we slide the Properties dialog to the side, you can see that we are very close to achieving the Pareto chart configuration. Currently, the bars are sorted by alphabetical order of expense type labels. All we need to do is sort the bars from highest to lowest based on the expense values. We can do just that here in the Appearance section of the Properties dialog by electing to sort the x-axis by sum of expenses in USD. However, note that while the bar is adjusted according to our needs, the expression which calculates our cumulative percentage still perceives the values in alphabetical order. One option for dealing with this issue is to make note of the order of the bars and go to Edit, Column Properties, select Expense Type, and adjust the sort order. We will require a custom sort order, and we will need to click to configure. Here we can use the buttons along the right in order to change the order of these values to match the current order of bars in our combination chart. When we click OK and click OK, you can see the resulting visualization, and we can rename the page Pareto Chart. While this approach of manually sorting the values in the columns property dialog works fine for a small number of x-axis values, it can be quite cumbersome in the event that you have a large number of values. In addition, the view is only valid as long as the order of the bars does not change. If we use the filters to isolate expenses in Europe, you can see that the order of bars has changed, and our cumulative percentage calculation is no longer valid. We would need to return to Edit Column Properties to repair the sort order. We need a better solution. So let's duplicate the page and reset all filters. We need an x-axis value which will be automatically sorted appropriately and is recognized by that sort order in the underlying data, upon which the cumulative percentage expression relies. Therefore, we will add another value to the x-axis, which calculates the sum of expenses in USD. Note that the autocomplete capability can assist in the construction of this expression. Then we'll type the over keyword and group values by expense type. This expression will result in a numeric value. However, we need this to be a categorical variable for the purpose of this visualization, so we will enclose the expression in caret brackets. When we apply this expression and close the selector dialog, you can see the value for each bar displayed above the expense type. Because we want this to be our primary sort value, we will drag and drop the new selector to the left of expense type. Note that the cumulative percentage calculation perceives this new sort order as it has adjusted to create a cumulative percentage from lowest to highest. Because we want the cumulative percentage to calculate from highest to lowest, we can make a relatively simple edit to the expression supporting that line, which substitutes the all-next node navigation function in place of the all-previous function. The final adjustment we will need to make to the visualization lies in the Properties dialog. In the X-axis section, we will change the settings such that the axis expression is evaluated based on current filtering only. Then click OK and close the Properties dialog. Now we have a Pareto chart which will adjust dynamically as the supporting data changes. Note that we can now filter to view only Europe, and the visualization will adjust appropriately. Returning to the previous page again shows that the visualization is only viable when the bars are sorted as they were when expenses from all regions was considered. Once we save our analysis, we might consider using the analysis as a template for other extractions from our expense reporting database. We could go to File, Replace Data Table, and replace the existing data table with the values in the file titled moreexpenses.txt. You can see the original Pareto chart configuration would require quite a bit of effort to manually sort the values in the columns property dialog. However, our additional efforts on this page result in a Pareto chart which can be applied to similar data from our expense reports database. This allows us to quickly evaluate the expense types which place the greatest demands on our finances. For example, you can see that the first 4 expenses listed in this Pareto chart constitute nearly 70% of our total expenses.